In today's breaking news, congressional lawmakers from the right are denouncing Donald Trump's vile reaction to the death of Rob Reiner, and I have all the details on the well-deserved beatdown coming up next. I'm Dan, and welcome to another Occupy Democrats report. To receive all of our coverage of Trump's attacks on our democracy and on decency, be sure and hit that subscribe button. In the aftermath of the tragic murder of Reiner and his wife Michelle, Trump, completely void of impulse control, empathy, and self-awareness, fired off a disgusting post on Truth Social and then doubled down on video. Here's a quick summary of that, and then I'll share the Republicans who are ripping him.
Nick Reiner, son of Hollywood icon Rob Reiner, has been taken into custody after both of his parents were found dead in their home last night. Speaking of horrific, I want to read how the President of the United States responded publicly. A very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, a tortured and struggling but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away, together with his wife Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with a mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald J. Trump, with his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness, and with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before. May Rob and Michelle rest in peace. It's hard to even put words to it.
It's beyond the pale. Any 5-year-old can see that statement and know that's not an appropriate thing to say. It's just gross. I mean, it's just horrible to see that the leader of the free world wants to debase his position enough to just attack these two people who were just, potentially murdered by their son.
The president posted what I read on his own social media platforms, Truth Social. As far as I could tell, and our team looked into it, most of the comments were not supportive of the president. Many of the comments, I should say, not most, many of the comments were saying, Mr. President, enough. That tells you something.
A number of Republicans have denounced your statement on Truth Social after the murder of Rob Reiner. Do you stand by that post?
Well, I wasn't a fan of his at all. He was a deranged person as far as Trump is concerned. He said he knew it was false. In fact, it's the exact opposite, that I was a friend of Russia, controlled by Russia. It was the Russia hoax. He was one of the people behind it. I think he hurt himself in career-wise. He became like a deranged person, Trump derangement syndrome. So I was not a fan of Rob Reiner at all, in any way, shape, or form. I thought he was very bad for our country.
Now let's begin the cavalcade of Republicans calling Trump out with a report from Fox News, of all places.
So that was a statement from President Trump. As you could imagine, it is not going over well in political circles right now. Representative Thomas Massie putting this out, saying, regardless of how you felt about Rob Reiner, this is inappropriate and disrespectful discourse about a man who was just brutally murdered. I guess my elected GOP colleagues, the VP, and the White House staff will just ignore it because they're afraid. I challenge anyone to defend it. And then some other reaction as well from Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, saying Rob Reiner and his wife were tragically killed at the hands of their own son, who reportedly had drug addiction and other issues, and their remaining children are left in serious mourning and heartbreak. This is a family tragedy, not about politics or political enemies. Many families deal with a family member with drug addiction and mental health issues. It's incredibly difficult and should be met with empathy, especially when it ends in murder.
Those two are not strangers to criticism of Trump, but his post was so egregious, other GOP representatives. Don Bacon told Jake Tapper, regarding the president's Truth Social post about the Reiners being murdered, I'd expect to hear something like this from a drunk guy at a bar, not the president of the United States. Can the president be presidential? Mike Lawler added, this statement is wrong. Regardless of one's political views, no one should be subjected to violence, let alone at the hands of their own son. It's a horrible tragedy that should engender sympathy and compassion from everyone in our country, period. And Stephanie Rice posted, A father and a mother were murdered at the hands of their troubled son. We should be lifting the family up in prayer, not making this about politics. Eternal rest grant unto them, O Lord, and let perpetual light shine upon them. That's just 5 Republicans that have found the words to denounce Trump so far. You can be certain there's more. And I'll give former Republican strategist Ana Navarro the final word. Watch as she calls out Trump's derangement and immorality.
He was also deeply engaged. There wasn't a cause he didn't care about. He cared about immigrants. He cared about equality and justice. He spoke up in defense of democracy at a time when so many in the media industry, so many with a platform are afraid to speak. He put his money and his mouth where his heart was. And for Trump to have put that out today, I'm going to say it. You know, damn it, there's an American family grieving.
Yeah.
This is a tragedy, not just for the family, but for all who knew and loved him. And for the President of the United States to make this about him and a way to attack Rob Reiner because he exercised his American right to speak up with what he disagreed with is shameful, is disgraceful. And out of all the disgusting things that Donald Trump has done, this is right up there.
Yeah.